Hey, Daily Dosers. My name is Tracie, one of the pastors over at the Carlsbad campus. And today I want to share with you, because of the gospel, I am at peace. And this is such a crazy time in our history. I don't know when you'll watch this, but things are very chaotic. Things are very uncertain. We're not sure what really tomorrow or next week or even next year honestly looks like. We are wondering about health. We're wondering about our children and their education. We're wondering about our finances and what that will look like. We say we'll have to have a new norm, but we really don't have any idea what that might look like. And so many things are up in the air. But what I want to encourage us today is there are a few things because of the gospel that we are assured of that never change. And one of them is he promises us his peace. And the other day, just last week, my family and I, we were watching a movie that we have watched multiple times, and I'm all wrapped up in my blanket, and I find all of a sudden that I'm all tensed up in this really intense moment in the movie, and all of a sudden I just kind of, I'm like, good grief, I know the outcome to the movie, and I'm still like all tense. But what I want to assure you of is we know the end of the story. God tells us in his word and through the gospel that we can be at peace because we know the end of the story. And so I just want to encourage you. In John 14, Jesus is teaching, and he tells us, he says, peace I leave with you. It's John 14:27. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. Not as the world gives. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. And he was telling them, before he says that, he tells them that I'm going to go, but I'm making a place for you, and we will be together again. And he tells them that he's got this, and not only is he going to go, but he's going to send the helper, the advocate, the counselor, the strength that we will get to have inside of us. He's trying to encourage us and saying, like, I've got this. Don't worry. Be at peace. Trust me. And in the word, it tells us over and over again, over 300 times in some form of, don't be afraid, don't be anxious, have peace. So he knew that'd be something we'd struggle with, but Jesus is trying to comfort them and say, it's not the world that's going to give you peace. It's not your circumstances. It's not this external peace, but it's the gospel. It's the good news. It's what I've come to do that will bring you peace, this inner peace that makes zero sense to the world. And he encourages us to live that out so that others see what he can bring to our lives. And I love it. Just the other day, too, in our curriculum for our kids, the story was about this very thing, and it shares with us at the very end. And it's kind of like the movie, but in Revelation, it tells us in Revelation 1:18, it says, I'll go back to 17. At the end, it says, do not be afraid. There it is again. I am the first and the last. I am he who lives and was dead, and behold, I am alive forevermore. Amen. And I have the keys of Hades and of death. That's the end of the story. He says, I defeat death. That's the story of the gospel, not just for himself, but for us too. So we don't have to fear what all the uncertainty is in our life right now, because he says, I've got that. That's where that peace comes from, not because I look around and see that it's all settled and it all feels good and it all makes sense in my world, but because he says, this is who I am. This is why I've come. And over time, you can see that it is true. And in the very end, he says, exhale. You know the end of the story. And that should give us peace. So because of the gospel, we can live in peace.